Well, this is my lgg4. This particular one, the G4, has a very common fault, it appears, and it is the fact that they overheat, and it's not very helpful because they do get considerably hot, especially if you're using them for as a GPS or using a camera for long periods of time. They just can't seem to handle it. They just get too hot. And I have seen some information online where they've actually got to a point where the actual process got so hot it's become... So a while ago I decided to fit some heat sinks to the CPUs, which for a while it seemed to be okay, but it's now becoming problematic again. It's now starting to overheat yet again. As you can see here, if I take a measurement of the bottom of the phone, I'm around 20 degrees. If I go to the top of the phone where the CPU is, the temperature is 26 degrees and is increasing. I've only just turned the phone on. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put the phone camera on and see what happens there. The phone camera and also if I put on Google Maps are two things that seem to really increase the temperature quite rapidly of the phone. It's 28 already. The bottom of the phone is 22. I can feel it already starting to increase temperature. See 27 at the top of the phone. That's where the CP29 there, so it's increasing quite rapidly. So at the moment it's around 28, 29, 27 around this area. The bottom of the phone is currently 21. 21 around the bottom of the phone. Top of the phone, oh now it's gone to 30. So as you can see, the temperature is increasing quite quickly on average. Now that's obviously not very helpful, is it? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the phone apart again and have a look inside and see what's going on. But it has been rapidly gaining temperature, and 45 to 50 degrees, which for a device that you put in your pocket is a little bit toasty. So I need to address it. I have had an attempt at it before where I had it all apart, and we're going to go back into the phone and have a good look inside, see what's going on again, because I did install some heat sinks about six months ago. I installed some heat sinks. I've had the phone now for 2 years and I actually really like the phone. It's a really good little phone, apart from the overheating. Really bad. For me to have faith in LG again, they should have recalled the phone and solved the issues. I believe it's got the Snapdragon processor in it, and that is the problem with the phone. Yeah, it's very hot now. So anyway, so I'm going to turn the phone off. Now I'm going to take it all apart and see whether or not my heat sinks I put on before have come off. So because obviously that could have been catastrophic. Because I made new heat sinks out of pieces of copper sheet and installed them, and it has helped. I may try and apply some heat transfer paste as well, just to really bad design really. But I like few reasons why I like this particular phone. One is it's one of the few phones now that have a replaceable battery, and this is a new battery only put in last week. So because of all of that rapid discharging, didn't kill it, but it wasn't as good as it used to be when I first got the phone. So I've got a new battery for it. So here we have it. There's the phone. It's got the SIM card and the SD card, which is an XC64. But that's not what I'm here for. What I'm going to do is now I'm going to remove the screws. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 screws. So I'll get my little screwdriver here. Yeah, the other way around. Over there. And I've got this ashtray to make sure I've got somewhere safe to put it so it doesn't disappear. You can get magnetic trays and stuff like that, but I don't know if it's a very good idea to magnetise everything that you take out. So we will remove these screws. I might speed this bit up because it might be a bit tedious to watch. And then there's a series of little clips all the way around the outside. There's one there, one there, one there, one there, one there. Aha! That's the way to do it. Yay, at last! Right, so what we have to do is we have to remove there's a series of little connectors for various purposes that have to be taken. One of these for the screen, which is not on there I believe. We've got one there for the camera and another one here for the front camera. So they're the two camera. They just pop up, pop off. Like so. Like so. This says 3 in total. And there's one here for the screen, which is obviously got to be very careful not to damage the pins. So they're surprisingly easy to put back. What was last time anyway. Remember, this is that'd be the third time they've been fitted. So there we have that part of the phone. Now I should be able to, with a little bit of TLC, remove this PCB board, allowing for these little connectors to get out of the way. So here we have our PCB board, and the gubbins that we need to do something about is on the back. Now it looks like it's possibly still intact. Now I put this piece of tin aluminium foil on there to grab some heat, because the actual piece of copper I put on is actually still there. That's one of them, and I think there's one other I put on as well. Now this little bit here also clips on this little heat shield here. So one part of the problem is that the actual heat isn't dissipating from this to this case very well. So I'm going to pop this off again and have a look, make sure this is intact. But just so you can see what I've actually done is, you can see that this piece of aluminium foil, that's basically the same foil you get when you have your insulation, like the Celcon or Kingspan insulation, and you have the aluminium foil tape to put down the joins, and that's exactly what that is. So I'm just going to prise that off. I can't remember where the clips are now. Stuck it into place with it. It's restricting the heat shield from coming off, and it's also stuck there as well. So there you go. This process is actually distorting the heat shield a little bit, but that'll be okay. See that there, if I just start to see the, there you go, that's the copper that I installed onto the actual processor. So yeah, it's literally that tape that stopped it coming off. So I'm getting very close. You can see now what I did. See, these are the two chips which seem to get really hot, and so what I've done is here, let's zoom in on that if I can. There you go. So these two here, the two chips that were getting extremely hot here, and so that one here and that one there. So what I did was I glued a piece of copper to the top of each of these. I was a bit concerned they could potentially fall off, but they certainly are on there. The hole in the middle I put in there on purpose, and that was just so the glue that would bond over the hole, so it creates almost like a keying effect. And really, I'm quite happy that they are still there. So I think now really I need to look at how to dissipate the heat from this little heat shield. Yeah, I've got some heat transfer paste. So what I'm going to do is, before I reapply this heat shield, I'm going to actually put a little bit of transfer paste on that one, which goes there. So we have heat transfer paste, a little dollop on top of this one. Do that. There you go. That one doesn't need any on there because there's a big hole, and I'll grab that with the foil. So I don't think there's anywhere else this needs to dissipate heat. So yeah, gently squeezing it back down into place. Like so, there's these little clips on the sides here which it has to slot into. There's one on every face. So if you haven't got proper alignment on one of the clips, the other ones aren't going to. There's into that one. They're quite, actually, considering they're so small, they're actually quite positive, so they're quite easy to. Yep, they're all clipped in nicely all the way around. Considering I distorted it a little bit, that's actually not too bad at all. So now you can see on the top here, you still see this piece of copper on the top there. So I'm just going to get a little bit more foil, place that on the top of there, enough to make sure that can dissipate or transfer that heat across. What I actually might do, I might put a little bit of heat transfer paste in the middle as well, and then bring that over the top to that space. This is the foil tape I was talking about. It's an aluminium foil tape, and it's used for the purpose of jointing insulation. See, obviously, as you can probably tell, I'm just using what I got lying about the workshop. So I'm just going to cut that across here. And across here. So what I'm going to do is that's just going to go on the top there, and that'll transfer some heat across. But what I'm going to do this time, which I didn't do last time, I'm actually going to put a bit of heat transfer, a tiny amount of heat transfer paste in the middle as well. Back. So that'll be put it on side. And then I'm going to grab my piece of tape, which I know it's just about going to fit. Just got to take it out of the corner. Reminds me of when you got cut and gushing blood, you try and take the back of a plaster. Push it onto there. Now what I don't want to do is I don't want to push or squeeze out too much heat transfer paste. So I'm going to work on this edge first, so effectively preventing the paste from exiting the edges. That's what I want to do. So it stays where it is. So I'm just using the back of the scalpel here and just easing that down. If there are any bits overhanging or it could potentially cause a short, you want to be able to trim them off. You don't want anything touching anything else that it shouldn't. It's only on the heat sinks. You don't want touching any metal contacts or wires or bits of the PCB board. So yeah, that's back on there. So now this effectively has been doubled up. There's a little bit of heat transfer paste in the middle that's trapped in the middle there. This feel sort of moving under my finger. Yeah, just moving under my finger there. So I'll just I'm hoping that will transfer the heat from this chip, which was the most problematic one, into this heat shield. Now I'm looking at the back of this. It's slightly raised there, where this chip sits on. So I'm going to apply a little bit of heat transfer paste there, but equally on this side where that one is going to be touching the case, I'm also going to apply some heat transfer paste onto that part of the case as well, that part of the body, or chassis I should say, onto the chassis there, and possibly there as well actually, just so it makes contact here as well. So the more contact it has, the more luck we're going to have with it to disperse the heat. Yes, we don't want a massive mess. What I'm going to do is I'm going to apply the heat transfer paste to the back of this board, PCB board, and then I'm going to reinsert that into there like so. And it should, yeah, there's no reason why it shouldn't, and that will make contact in the appropriate places. All you want to do is just apply some little blobs of heat transfer paste. So you worry that you're going to put too much on, so you kind of have to be really cautious. You don't want it squeezing out all over the place. That should be enough. So I'll just pull it back just to draw it back into itself, and then we put the lid on this one side. Alright, put the lid back on and put the one side. So as you can see, they've got the heat transfer paste in place. A few little blobs, and I'm gonna reinstall. I've got a bit on my finger. I think I need to get rid of that. There's two little clips, one there, and they have to go back underneath those two clips before you bring it down. Yep, that all feels good. I think push your little clips back into place. That's good. So there we have the PCB board back into place, the clips are back into place, we have the heat shields back in place, but this time I've added some heat transfer paste, and now I'm going to install this back cover. Now I just want to make sure there's nothing, because there's all these contacts on the back. I don't know if you can see them there. So there's all these different contacts, but you've got to make sure you've got nothing that's going to obstruct those from making their connections. what I'm going to do is put the screws back in. But before I do that, I'm going to reinsert the battery and make sure it turns on, just in case I've got to take it off again. So I've reinserted the battery. Let's just see what happens now. Ooh, that's looking good. That's looking good. My screen ain't cracked. That's actually just the screen protector. You can see that there. Well, it's booting up. So hopefully Android is starting. It's starting apps. There you go. Oh, it appears to be working. I'm now going to put all the screws back in. Now I know it's started up okay. Yet again, I might fast forward this bit. Well, that's all the screws back in. Let's snap the cover. Oh, it's still working. Snap the cover back on. And put the camera on. Let's run the camera. Equally, I'm going to put on GPS. Put the maps back on. Just see if it's any better. Well, my phone's been running for well, best part of half a day, and I've had the camera on and various other apps, as you do, and listening to the radio. Yeah, the camera's been running, the GPS going as well. It seems to be perfectly fine. The phone's actually quite cold to touch, so if I just take some readings off there. That's the bottom of the phone, and what's that saying? The bottom of the phone is 19. Ooh, it's 19 degrees. This is degrees Celsius. This is obviously pretty cold. And that is the top of the phone, which is also is only a degree hotter. Yeah, 20.4. So that's considerable improvement. Let's have a look at the back of the phone. 18 at the bottom of the phone, around the battery area here, and 18 degrees, that's good. And yeah, same as the front, but 19 degrees, 19.5, well that's pretty, 20, gone to 20 there. So yeah, 19, 20, so yes, that is definitely improvement. So I hope you found that of if you could give us a thumbs up and subscribe, that just help us along, because we've only just started out, and we could do a bit of help. So there you have it.